Had to do one today about the cluster that was the Hegseth Trump pony show. There's a lot of concern out there that this is the final turning point, and there's going to be an authoritarian government, and the military is going to support Trump and all that. I don't agree with that. I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't think it's in the American military culture to do that. There's a lot of centuries of, well, not a lot, but several centuries of history that back that up. And so, I take that to be a little bit more of a positive, but that's not necessarily great news in another context, and that is what they did today is going to cause a massive rippling crash of morale in the American military. They insulted and disrespected the entire command structure, and it was just a colossal error. They're going to have retention problems. They're going to have recruitment problems. All this stuff about everybody's a warrior and all that. That's not that's not true. What makes a powerful, effective military is that it has an entire self-sustaining infrastructure. By definition, that means most of the people in there are not war fighters. Logistics, communications, intelligence, supply, all that stuff. The old, you've heard the old saying, an army marches on its stomach. And if you don't have all that, then it's not going to be effective when you need it to be effective. And one of the things you run into is now everybody has to be Hegseth's fantasy, probably from a video game, of some sort of version of a Navy SEAL or something like that. And it's just like that's not really needed, and it's not even wanted. So they're really going to have very, very serious problems organizationally. And my concern is, my field was organizational strategy. That was my academic field. And the shortest, sort of best definition that you can give of that is that it's the job of the strategist to best position the organization in its environment. And what they're doing is causing changes that introduce weakness and take away strength from the positioning of the American military in its environment. If there were not long-term sustained adversaries in the world, we could probably say, well, damn, that's too bad they're messing that up. But China, they're coming on. They have a lot of money. They've had a lot of success. And now they're getting more adventurous. They're building their military. They're becoming more confrontational about things. They have sort of longer and intermediate term goals, one of which is to forcefully retake Taiwan, because Taiwan won't voluntarily join the communist country. And it's a bad situation. Then the last thing I'll mention about this today, for free, included with the zero price of admission, you get a conspiracy theory. If you look at the 9 months, or not 9, it's eight, over a little over 8 months that Trump has been president this time, has he done anything that was really not to the liking of Vladimir Putin? The answer to that question is no. It's a resounding no. So, he's acting lately like, Putin's disappointing me and I'm going to do things. He's not. For example, he makes a big deal out of, well, the Europeans are free to buy weapons from America and give them to the Ukrainians. And they're doing that. The thing is, though, that then takes the United States out of providing weapons to Ukraine, which is exactly what Putin wants. So, given all that, here's something else I think Putin wants. A disorganized, reduced in effectiveness, overall U.S. military that is under threat, being misused, being told to violate the Posse Comitatus law, the whole thing. What a mess. That's something Putin would really like. Now, no need to take off on Russia today. We ought to do that sometime, but not today. They're in no position to really take advantage of any sort of chaotic upheaval going on in the military. But China is. China's really able to do it. And it is a real threat with them becoming more aggressive and more adventurous, in their military activities, that this is the time when coincidentally Trump starts doing things that weaken the American military. And you think, well, is the man insane? Is he trying to kill America? No, he's not. But he is doing something that is his favorite thing, and that's protecting himself. Nothing is more important than that, even the security of the country. It's not good news. I don't think we're quite to the, there's going to be an armed military person on every street corner in America with an M16. I don't think we're there. And I don't think the American military will do it. That will probably lead to a major crisis if that happens. We'll see. Wish it were better news. I'll probably do another one of these when they do another thing that's impossibly stupid. It won't be long.